Hello and welcome to another episode of Marketing Corner. You know it. We're here to connect you to those businesses out there, those small, medium-sized businesses that are out there in our community. How do we get out? How do we talk to them about some of the challenges, the obstacles, and some of the successes they've had and bring them back into the classroom? We're doing it here today, and we're doing it here with something very interesting. It might have to do with CBD oil. Ooh, interesting topic. Oh, this world. Oh, you might have heard of some of these things in this discussion. Today we have Jill Ozero, who is the CEO and founder of a company called Hipbees. And this is where they combine hemp, CBD oil with honey in creating some skincare solutions. So we need to know more about this. So we're going to talk to Jill. Jill, hello, Jill. Welcome to our show today. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Jill, before we jump into hippies and CBD oil and honey and all that element, we need to know a little bit about you, Jill. Tell us a little bit about who is Jill?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a mother of three. I know that might be kind of cliche to say your motherhood status first, but it is the most important job in my life. And
Mhm.
so I have three boys, 6, 8, and 21. I have a dog named Zoe and a cat named Django. So that's my whole life: gardening, yoga, kids, and then making amazing products. I like the water and the beach, and I'm a Virgo.
I love it. So hey, yeah, family, dogs, cats, very important. But you hinted at the end of that towards product. You've got a company called Hipbees. What's Hipbees all about?
So Hipbees started 12 years ago because we were bee farmers and we had all this wax, didn't know what to do with it. I started making lip balm, testing it out on all my yoga students. Turns out they loved it. Then they would say, hey, can you make me a cream? Can you make me this? Can you make me that? So I did that. And then it grew into a little business. So we did that. We did farmers markets. And yeah, I left my teaching job to do Hipbees full time. And then a friend of mine unfortunately got cancer.
Oh,
So that was 10 years ago. That's the sad part of the story. And she introduced me to using cannabis in topicals. So
okay.
then I did a course on cosmetic formulation and learned how to make even more intricate products and how to use the cannabis plant for healing, for both pain relief and dermatitis. So then Hipbees grew and branched off. So we have Hipbees, which doesn't have the active cannabinoids, and then we have another brand because that has to be all through regulated channels. So yeah, and that's what we do now.
So tell us a little bit more about when you say the active ingredient. Can you separate that for us just to tell us what the difference is? So where does Hipbees really compete? What is its USB, the value proposition of what it offers to your customer base?
So this is a really important distinction, and this is actually a huge part of our marketing challenge. One of them is that Hipbees is hemp-based products, but they
Mhm.
don't contain cannabidiol, which is a cannabinoid found in the cannabis plant that in Canada is a regulated substance.
Mhm.
So our regulated products in the other brand contain CBD and THC, but we have to sell those in cannabis stores, and we actually basically can't say anything, can't show anybody anything, and can't talk about them. Marketing in the cannabis industry is, here's our website, please don't shut us down. And then what the reason we kept Hipbees alive is not just because of the amazing products, but because we can leverage that non-regulated brand with hemp not containing the active CBD, even though all hemp contains a certain amount.
Yeah.
We can leverage that and do all of our marketing in there to educate about the cannabis plant and about hemp and about why you would even want to use hemp on your body. Like what and value proposition. We don't really have one. We need one. But that's the value proposition is hemp is amazing. It's amazing for so many different things. So that's Hipbees is a world in which we can play with marketing and talking and educating and doing collaborations with regulated products.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So take us on the journey now, talking about the hemp element, benefits of the hemp element, and then the combination with the honey. Why the two together, and why? I know the story about the friend with a cancer, but this is quite a good product when they're put together, I hear.
Yes. So the reason hemp and honey is because the name of our company was Hipbees, and
Mhm.
literally every product that we made was beeswax based. And then we have only a handful of products now. We have about 12, but at one point we had about 50, and each one of those products contained either beeswax or honey or royal jelly or propolis or something from the byproduct of bee farming. So that's where, like, hemp's amazing for your skin, honey's amazing for your skin. It would have been weird to make the Hippies name and remove. It wouldn't make any sense for it to be a hemp-based skincare line called Hippies. So all of our current products still do contain beeswax or honey. Um, yeah. Does that answer your question?
Oh, no, again, it's just trying to, I want the students to wrap their head around what is this element of, like, there's so much health benefits based on these more natural ingredients that we see on the market versus the typical ones that you would find on the shelf that might have some toxics in them. So I wanted to try and see how, and how Hippies and
Oh,
your product, your hemp and honey, differs from the mainstream products in the market.
okay. So typically the mainstream products in the market, things you'd find at Shoppers Drug Mart or, you know, even mass produced brands like L'Oreal and cosmetic counters at the Bay and things like that, they contain a lot of synthetic parabens. They're not natural oils that they use. And so everything is, some of them are neurotoxins, some of them are carcinogenic. People that read labels will know all that kind of jazz. But for us, hemp oil itself naturally is a compound that can be helpful for anti-aging. It's extremely beneficial for acne, extremely awesome for dry skin, all those types of things. And then the bee products. So the way beeswax works is it's a humectant. So that means that it draws moisture out of the air. It also creates a barrier on the skin that is, because of the shape of the molecule, allows the skin to breathe. So while it doesn't let moisture out, um,
Mhm.
it allows your skin to breathe. And then all of the, getting it it's a bit scientific when you start talking about the phytosterols and all the things that are in the plant parts of the hemp and the beeswax part. But it's basically for lack of a better way of saying it, using whole foods for your skin versus going to McDonald's every day.
Yeah. Using those, again, more sustainable, more organic, that kind of direction towards, and again, the benefits towards your skin and through the application element, how does it benefit your skin?
Well, the skin has multiple different layers. The furthest out skin layer is the one that's always constantly shedding. And
Mhm.
so these products allow for that skin rejuvenation. So that layer sheds faster and more efficiently, and then the younger, more beautiful, glowy skin cells can come through. So it kind of keeps the cycle of your skin, like that cycle promoted and healthy. And then it also works with all of the melanocytes and every other part. I'm trying to think of, like, sebaceous glands and all the things that make your skin. Using these products makes them happy and able to function. Whereas this is the dark side of the skincare industry. Some products are actually designed to keep your skin needing
Oh
the
God,
product.
of course it
So,
is.
like, for example, like chapstick, the literal brand chapstick is designed to actually dry out your lips so that you constantly need to be applying the chapstick. So with Hipbees lip balm, we formulate it with hemp oil and beeswax and other essential oils. So you actually put it on if your lips are chapped, and then you're
Yeah.
good to go. You don't need to keep applying.
Reapplying and reapplying.
Yeah.
So look, Jill, we hear this is, we hear the greatness that you're doing with Hippies. Let's dive into Hippies because, in the element of those two things are bringing those great products together. Hey, you're not trying to get people to apply and, and reapply because it's working against them. So tell us a little bit more about Hipbees. So you've been around for 12 years, and where have you been? Are you been online, bricks and mortar? You've been in farmers market. Tell us a little bit more about where you are and where you're looking to go.
Okay, so Hippie started in farmers markets only.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as online really. When I started, it was build your own site, which I don't have those skills. So we sold online at farmers markets, and we did, we didn't do huge volumes, but it was, enough to kind of keep my mompreneur life going.
Yeah.
So we did the farmers markets, and then I said, okay, we're getting a customer base. We need an online store. So my husband's actually a web developer, but we wanted to stay married. And so we decided not to work together on building a website. And so he was like, there's this new thing and it's called Shopify. I think you'd be better off dealing with that instead of me. So I got a Shopify site, and they're so user friendly. I just taught myself how to do it. I uploaded all the products. Everything was super DIY. Like I designed everything myself. I did all the website myself, and I just had the store there. So if someone said, can I buy something? I'd say, yeah, go to hippies.com. And then I would ship out. And then I started working more heavily on the cannabis side of things. And I partnered with the company on purpose because of their marketing. They had a strong marketing team.
Yeah.
So they rebranded Hippies. They redid all the packaging, all of the containers, the Shopify site. They did quizzes. They used Klaviyo to do the email campaigns and all that jazz. I then stopped managing that, which was a dream come true, because marketing, I make cream. I don't do conversion, although I'd love to. So they did that. Unfortunately, they went out of business and we parted ways. So I got the whole brand back in 2020. And then it sat there and just did nothing. Like the website was there.
Yeah.
It did nothing. So I let it sit there and then picked it back up. And then I signed up for a course called Merchant Mastery, where you teach yourself how to optimize your Shopify course. So I started doing that course, really quickly realized I'm not good at this and I don't have the time. But what I did do was I would do Klaviyo email campaigns, and then I would do a ton of Instagram things, and sometimes boost a post, but I never did paid ads.
Yeah.
And we would do, if we did a campaign, we generate a few $1,000 in sales. Then we hired a marketing company in St. Albert to redo the website with the point of it converting the traffic that was coming. Also never converted. So I kept going with the Instagram and doing the posts and affiliates and influencer campaigns and a few email campaigns. And then I honestly have just gotten sidetracked with focusing on the regulated side of things. But we still do markets. We'll do a couple a year, and people love the product. That's the thing. That's why Dave and I really we know it. We have a good product just because people love it. We have repeat customers. And when we're at the markets, after we explain our very confusing value proposition and promise to give their money back if they don't like it, then they'll buy and try and then rebuy.
But the message is very strong. The website's beautiful, by the way. If you haven't had an opportunity, guys, to go see the website, you definitely need to go check out the website. We'll give you the details of that in the show notes later today. But again, it is beautiful the way it's all set up in the story that you're trying to tell. And I see there is value proposition kind of in there. It's this, we need to help. This is maybe a challenge for the students to bring out that messaging, bring out that storytelling, and talk about these things. Tell us, Jill, a little bit more about who is the customer for Hipbees? Who is the customer that you're currently serving that you're getting a lot of repeat business with? And who do you ideally see as your customers?
So this is something I haven't been able to articulate in a customer value journey very well, but I know our customers intimately. They're not your typical pretty girl.
Yeah.
They're no false eyelashes, no, nothing of that nature on their face, because our products are oil-based. So you can't actually have false eyelashes and use the products. They truly value conscious consumption. Like they will reuse the jars. They always ask me, can you refill my jars for me? Is there a way we can get the jars refilled? They're constantly looking to buy in bulk so that they can refill their own jars. They love like craft beer. They would go to a potluck over a nightclub. They, they shop, they're like all the customer is really intelligent and intentional. So they'll shop for the bulk of their goods with a budget, but then they'll really treat themselves on, buying a good chocolate bar or a good wine or nice shoes that last a long time.
Mhm.
And they have a really good sense of humor. Like the Hipbees customer, when we do funny things on Instagram, they absolutely love it. They love real person connection. They really want to know who's making their product. They love knowing about the ingredients and what they do. We harvest our own rose hips and dry them and infuse our oil. And our customers love that. I had customers this week drop off rose hips they picked for me. Like
Wow.
it's so important to have that connection to nature. Like literally every product is infused with love and good energy in our shop. And I've had people be like, I can feel it. I feel so loved when I use your product. Like those vibes are like, they're legit. They want that. And buying something that isn't connecting with them, I think that it's woven through their lifestyle. And I think there's more and more people. I wish I could say an age,
Yeah.
we have mothers and daughters.
Yep.
We have grandmas. We have dudes that use it on their heads, bald heads. There's no really particular age. It's more of a resonance with a lifestyle. And we've been terrible at communicating that in our marketing. We've just been like, God, we hope you like our product. Please buy it. If you don't, we'll return the money. Actually, let us pay you to buy our product.
Yeah. Well, then Jill and the students should be listening to the messages there. There's a clear audience there. And it's interesting because you talked about farmers market, and the typical individuals that you're describing are the individuals that would probably most likely show up at a farmer's market to really connect with these brands in a different way. But now we bring forth the world of digitalization. We need to bring the farmer's market to the digital world.
You know what? That's exactly it. What you just said is exactly it. I've had almost no success at farmers markets recently. Yeah. Because people are there with a budget and skincare isn't in their budget. It's nearly impossible to convert them on the spot now.
Yeah. But so again, it's all comes down to that relationship play. But this is such an interesting element. And so, Jill, talking about current tactics right now, you talked about you've got the website. Are you doing anything? Are you able, like, I don't know, are you able to do any online advertisement through Google or Meta products?
So we, one of my business partners got a grant and then used the grant money to do Microsoft ads, Google ads, and Facebook ads. And we drove 33,000 people to the website and we had 0% conversion rate. Okay. So we paused all the ads. Yeah. I don't know myself how to do any of that. I'd love to know, but I don't. So we did do that. We gave it a try this summer and we just paused it all.
Okay, but there's no legislation, like Google doesn't put a limit on you because you're in that sort of gray area of the hemp element. Do they see hemp as a
hemp
controlled substance? No,
not hemp. But so we have cannabis sativa on all of our packaging, and we need to change that. Cannabis sativa is the Latin word or the INCI name in cosmetic nomenclature. You have to use certain names that are going to be accepted internationally. So that's what INCI stands for. So the INCI name for hemp is cannabis sativa. And so we have that on all of the front of our packaging. Yeah. We need to change that because when they scan the packages sometimes, not all the time, but they'll be like, sorry, nope, we don't allow cannabis sativa. So we just have to change it to hemp. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no regulations. There's no restrictions. There's no limiting anything, as long as it doesn't say cannabis sativa, which is hilarious and ironic, but it is what it is. We could even, I've even tried in Instagram posts to be explaining that, to be like, hey, this is what's going on. And then people are like, I'm just more confused. I don't care. Is this going to work on my skin?
Yeah, is it going to work or not? Customers don't. Customers, they only want to know that it's going to work, and that they're going to get their problem solved. Like, and you can create the value for them to get that problem solved. So, and you kind of talked a little bit, Jill. I just get a couple more of these things out. So you said you're on Instagram. What other social media platforms have you had success in? Does Instagram?
We
Or-
have a Pinterest page, but all the Pinterest pages is I have a VA that posts the Instagram posts onto
Yeah.
Pinterest. It doesn't do anything,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Well, students, you've heard it. Jill, what an amazing, amazing human being here that is trying to bring love to your skin. Like, this is an amazing product. I can't wait to try some myself. Actually, well, Jill, I've got some skin things that I probably should be trying it. So I probably will be sending you an order soon. And I got to get this to my wife because we have kids that with the lip stuff. So
That's who it was made
we're
for.
fast customers. We want to support the mission. I want the students to really listen to the messaging here. This is an outstanding brand that is just got lost in the communication of the digital world. How do we get them to get that exposure that Jill wants, to get those repeat customers, to get those customers to drive this community in the right way? That is your challenge out there, my friends. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with. Thank you very much, Jill, for your time today. Thank you for the chat. I look forward to seeing what our students can create for you.
Thank you very much. It was awesome.